Warming up the tires, Bob, and actually went down a gear, getting ready to accelerate to warm the rear tires up, and just clipped the wall with that left rear. And as he spun past us in the broadcast booth, that left rear was actually hanging out. There he goes right there, broke the left rear. And then he just ends up losing the contact with the patch on the road, and now all of a sudden he's a passenger.
Here it is again, same angle.
Now watch as we move through here. You'll see that he's on the outside, getting a run. He's a little bit high already. Stop it right there. And he is already well out of the line where all the other cars are here. And this is where the marbles, the extra rubber that's off the tires from all the cars running throughout the day, is starting to form. Once you get on top of that, you lose your grip. You try to turn your steering wheel. Nothing happens for you. And then all of a sudden, up to the wall you go.
Fortunately, he took the wall with the right side of the car.
And now all of a sudden he's a passenger.
So if you're gonna do that, that's the way to do it. He's probably okay.
As we can see, hitting the outside wall into that safer barrier, he was already high, way off the groove on the racetrack when we came into view. You can see there he goes and makes hard right side compound, and now all of a sudden he's a passenger.
That's a pretty major hit. Jack Arute, you were keeping track on his two-way radio. The view from turn 2. There comes back. Boy, barely off the corner.
Maybe a little bit low coming off the turn, also a little bit tight. Keeping that car a little bit tight makes the back end want to come around. As you can see on the top of your screen, already has lost control. And not a real hard hit, but certainly enough to put the car out of the race for the evening. And now all of a sudden he's a passenger. But without a doubt, you know it's coming.
Watch the rear wing up here. Salazar directly ahead.
Right
the wing comes down. Now that happened to Lazier in a practice earlier this year. Same sort of failure.
It certainly did. I believe that was a Kentucky, but you can see his wing is down as we saw earlier on the in-car camera. And very luckily, that happened on the straightaway for him instead of being in the middle of the turn. And now all of a sudden he's a passenger.
At that point, he's just a passenger too.
By the car. Now let's see, he's actually going to come down the inside. No, you know something?
He got clipped.
Absolutely clipped. Junqueira had the right of way. The slower car needs to stay high and just shoots him into the wall. That's probably at 215 miles an hour, Todd. And I can tell you, that is an absolute huge hit. And now all of a sudden he's a passenger.
Any crash at this place is terrible.
Here we go. We're going to watch Thomas. He's down, coming down towards the apex. Car's going up, and the back end just comes out from underneath him. And I got to tell you, it doesn't look like anything the driver's doing there, but possibly might have been a little bit of fluid on the track.
Well, Scott, the report to Thomas Schechter to Owen Snyder was that a right rear tire went soft without any warning.
And now all of a sudden he's a passenger. Something a driver has no control over. Look at the tire right there. He's off the rim.
Thomas Schechter out of the car. Wow.
You know, early on we talked about him grading himself as an F. Well, today I think you have to give him an A or an A+. And now all of a sudden he's a passenger. He's already up in the gray, guys. We're not sure why he got there. Maybe the car underneath him, he let the car go through. That's on the exit of 3, so he's up on the north end in the short chute. But I can tell you, he's a young rookie who did a very good job coming here with a lot of pressure on him from sponsors and a lot of following from Canada. This is something he didn't want to have happen, Eddie.
What has changed lately is the wind is now pushing the cars faster down the back straight, and they're probably picking up 3 or 4 miles an hour going into 3. But obviously he was hung out when he was past going into that corner, and we've seen that there just isn't enough grip once you get out of the line.
Yeah, you heard Jamie talk about the wind change, and let's listen and watch. Ouch.
And now all of a sudden he's a passenger.
And now 7 days later, this incident heading down into turn 1.
And now all of a sudden he's a passenger.
That's a sort of pass you would expect a little bit later in the race than at a lap 114.
And the motion of that steering wheel, if you are watching the steering wheel when the front end of that car slammed the wall, is just the exact reason why the drivers make sure they get their hands off the wheel and not be holding it when the car hits. These open wheel cars, when they hit the wall, that steering wheel is going to move, and it's going to move violently.
But Alan, that goes against every instinct that you have. You're holding on for dear life, and you've got to be calm enough to say let go. But the minute you let go, you're obviously out of control.
Yeah.
And now Sonny's a passenger.
Outside, outside. Hold your line. Clear, clear. Go low, go low, go low. Yellow flag, yellow flag, yellow flag.